Thank you for joining us from Henderson Middle School. But I think the principal said it best. You know, when our students returned, they returned differently than they did pre-pandemic, and really supporting the social emotional needs that our students had as they returned to school was critical. I have a younger son at home who is now 15 years old, and one of the things that I asked him was were you impacted by the pandemic? And his response to me was, "Dad, I don't know. I don't have anything to compare it to. I can't tell," he said, "I suspect that I'm different socially, emotionally than I was before the pandemic, but I don't have anything to compare it to. But as adults, we can recognize the needs that our students have across the country and the things that they weren't able to do as they came through the pandemic." And so those continued investments in their mental health and their social emotional needs are absolutely imperative. In addition to that, we heard from two of our school districts, both Indianapolis as well as St. Paul Public Schools, and we had an opportunity to see some of the wonderful dashboards that they have created over time to monitor what's going on. But most importantly, one of the things that they talked about was the programs such as the WIN program, What I Need to Know Now in Education, the Rebuilding Stronger program for STEM and the arts in Indianapolis. Those programs that have been created as a function of the investments from ESSER funds that we now recognize these are things that we want to make sure we continue. These are best practices in education. And so continuing to lift those up is important. And then finally, we heard some of the victories from the classroom perspective of really investing in and supporting students. One of the things that Rebecca Peterson and Joanne Smith, who is a kindergarten interventionist from Brookside, shared was that our students do not have a capacity issue. They have challenges with opportunities to learn and having the resources that they need to be successful. Thank you for sharing that. And one of the things she also shared was that the district has really moved the needle in terms of investments, also focusing on investing in not just the support of students right now, but investing in our adults. And we heard that throughout this afternoon, investing in the mental health and social emotional needs of our adults through the middle school program and sharing the Tiger, which I thought was a great way to really support each other, but then also investing in our children. And then finally, we heard from Roberto Rodriguez. So thank you so much for joining us. But he talked about, from a national perspective, making sure that we're able to continue the work that we're doing, continuing to invest in our students as we address the unfinished learning needs that we have. Finally, I'd like to thank all of you for being a part of this afternoon. Thank you so much for what you have done, the support that you have provided. And finally, I would like to thank those who are streaming online. And at this point, we'll break away from streaming online. But thank you so much for joining us virtually through this event.